We are back. It is UFC recap and reactions time. This time for UFC 330 that went down last night in Philadelphia. Was main evented, of course, by Islam Makhachev defending his welterweight title versus Ian Machado Gary. I had to rewatch some of this card today because I was doing commentary, of course, for Ego Fight Series, The Big Show, that happened at Hobart Arena last night. Great show from Ego Fight Series if you guys saw my predictions for that. I didn't do too hot, actually. I mean, I still had a winning record. Let's not get crazy, but a lot of guys proved me wrong, and that's what I wanted. I wanted guys to prove me wrong. That's what I want to see. Make me look dumb, and they did. And it was a great show. Some crazy finishes, some crazy knockouts, bro. James Gibson had one of the scariest knockouts I've ever seen in my life, so shout out Hot Sauce Gibson for that. But other than that, like I said, good show. Two good pro fights at the end. Two new champions crowned. Max Higgins, new flyweight champion. Josh Frazier, new middleweight champion. So that was pretty cool to see. But anyway, we get to the UFC where my pick's not the best either, but based off the last couple weeks because, I've been only been getting like 1 or 2 wrong. I think I went 7-5. If I remember correctly, I think I went 7-5 on this card. So not the best. A lot of underdogs. A lot of underdog upsets on this card that threw off a lot of stuff. But I'm going to give you my recap reaction to every single fight on the card. We'll get right into it. The first fight, bro. Jeremiah Wells submits Makhachev Orolbai out cold with a ninja choke in round 3. Bro, once I saw this, I knew I was cooked. I was like, all right, if this is how we're starting the show, with one of the biggest favorites, probably the biggest favorite on the card, Makhachev Orolbai is getting choked out cold, yeah, no. This is not going to be a good night. I mean, Orolbai was looking good. He's doing Makhachev Orolbai things. He came in on the woolly mammoth, as always. He blew that horn. He did all of his stuff. It gets caught in a ninja choke from Jeremiah Wells. And it was funny because I was hyping this up. I was like, bro, this is a one-sided fight. Makhachev Orolbai first round submission is what I picked. And I was like, dude, why is he fighting Jeremiah Wells? He should be fighting way up higher. He needs to fight a better opponent. Well, Jeremiah Wells puts him out cold. So, and then Jeremiah Wells called for a ranked opponent at welterweight. Okay. If they give him one, give him like, I don't know. Is D-Rod technically still ranked? Give him D-Rod. Or make him fight like Kevin Holland or something, Maybe give him one more before, I don't know. Give him a test. I say give him a test, I guess, if he wants one. I couldn't tell off the top of my head what Jeremiah Wells has done before this Makhachev Orolbai fight. I kind of forget. Not too deep of ball knowledge on Jeremiah Wells off the top of my noggin, but I mean, this is a good win, beating Makhachev Orolbai. Orolbai only had one loss in the UFC before this. It was to Mateus Rebecki in that crazy war that they had. Orolbai had been dominating people in the wrestling, submitting guys, knocking guys out. Think of the Chris Curtis fight, the Jack Hermanson fight. He's doing damage. So, big win here for Jeremiah Wells. Big underdog win. Starts me off 0-1. And it doesn't get any better, bro. This fight made me so mad. Neil Magny defeats Ramiz Brahma by round 2, knockout TKO. I picked Brahma to win this fight. Dude was dominating the entire fight. The entire fight, he was dominating Neil Magny. And then gassed himself out and lets himself get TKO by Neil Magny in the second round. Like, dude, I was literally, and I was so mad because I almost picked Neil Magny to win this. I almost picked him to crafty vet it up and win this fight over Brahma, but I decided not to. I decided, let me go with the prospect to beat Neil Magny. God damn it! The Haitian sensation gets it done, dude. Round 2 TKO. Impressive. Can never count on Neil Magny, dude. Crafty vets, gatekeepers. They're dangerous, man. They're dangerous. And he was dangerous. And he got Brahma last night. TKO'd him. Started me off again, 0-2. Rough night in the office for me so far, but it gets better. Thanks to my dog, Lucas Fernando, TKOing Rafael Tobias. And it was funny because Rafael Tobias, I don't remember his nickname, but it has something to do with like bipolar or something like that. And he's like smiling and then he goes, I was like, brother, you're getting your fucking ass whooped for that shit. And he did. He did. Fernando started putting it on him. He looked very good on the feet, whipping on him. And then he gets him at the end with a kick. Was it a kick or a knee to the body? It was something to the body. Hits him right in the liver, shuts his body down. Fernando lands a little bit of extra ground and pound, gets the TKO. Round number 3. Dude's dangerous, bro. We talked about him. Light heavyweight champion for LFA. Also middleweight champion for LFA. Double champ. Now he's here at the UFC. He's going to have some fun fights, especially at light heavyweight, which is, I talk about it, I feel like, every video, but it's wide open right now. So Lucas Fernando could make some waves early at light heavyweight, and he starts it off pretty well by beating Rafael Tobias, 3rd round TKO. I did get that one correct. I don't think I picked 3rd round. I know I picked the TKO for Fernando. I think I picked round 1, but it is what it is, brother. We go to the regular prelims. That was the early prelims. And here we start with this here. Vicente Luque losing a decision to Trishan Gore. This fight, I was very back and forth on who I was going to pick. Luckily, I did pick Trishan Gore to win this fight. This was a fun back and forth fight. I mean, they had their moments on the feet. Both guys landed shots. Vicente Luque had Trishan Gore in his vintage Darce choke. Gore was able to get out. I think Gore attacked rear naked choke at one point. I think he also attacked head and arm choke. And, okay, Dana Cormier. Everyone hates on DC's commentary. I get it. I'm a DC supporter till I die. I love DC. But every time someone gets put in a submission, yeah, that's over. He's going to tap. Every time, bro. It doesn't matter how deep it is. Yeah, that's over. He's going to tap. Every time. Every time he does that. And then, I don't remember. I want to say it was a Dante Johnson fight, which we'll get to in a second. Every time, oh, he's hurt. Oh, he's hurt. That stung him. No matter what, bro. He could have whiffed. That stung him. DC. We got to lock in, bro. We got to lock in on the commentary and the diet. Like, I don't know what he's doing, bro. He's just kind of talking out there. There's literally more, as crazy it is, there's more to it, to commentary, than talking. And so I would like him to lock in a little bit. But no, I just thought that was funny. Every time somebody gets in a submission, yeah, that's over. That's diet. He's going to tap. No matter what. And that happened in this fight multiple times. As you can see, nobody tapped because it went to a decision. Trishan Gore does end up getting the win, though, in a very fun fight. Third round really slowed down a little bit. He did get his tooth knocked out with a knee to the face. That was crazy. He was talking like this, probably with a lisp and everything. And then they show his tooth, his whole tooth out of the bottom row of his mouth. Gone. MMA is crazy. I love it. But no, Trishan Gore gets the winner of Vicente Luque, which a couple years ago that would have meant something. Not really anymore. He moves to 8-4 though. Good win for Trishan Gore. He's coming off. He had this win, and then before that, he had the submission over Azamat Bakoyev. So two solid wins back to back for Mr. Gore. So he's got a little bit of a ball rolling right now. And then we get to that Dante Johnson fight. This one, another fight I was very back and forth on, and luckily I went the right way on this one. I was so close to picking Makhachev, but I picked Dante Johnson instead. I thought it was going to be a boring, smother wrestling decision. He decided to knock him out in a minute and a half. Very, very clean combo, puts him out. But not much else to say. It was a minute and a half he did it. It's funny because he knocks him out and he keeps bouncing around like the whole time. Joe Rogan's like, dude, you won't even stop bouncing. You're like still ready to fight. And he talked about, he made his debut at heavyweight, I do believe. This was at middleweight. So he's fought at middleweight and heavyweight, worked his way down. He said he wants to go down to 170 at one point too. So he said he's trying to become a triple champ. He said he wants to be the welterweight champion, the middleweight champion, and the light heavyweight champion. I respect the dreams. I respect the aspiration. Cody Brundage is watching. Anyway, no, Dante Johnson, good win for him. Stays undefeated against Eric Makhachev. TKO'ing him in the first, or not TKO'ing him, knocking him out in the first round. Like I said, a good clean little combo. I believe it was a right hand that caught him. Put him out cold. So good win for Dante Johnson. I'm glad I did switch to Dante Johnson to win that fight. Because a lot of these fights, man, I was really back and forth on because I felt they were just like so much toss-ups, like up in the air. I'm like, I don't know, because I didn't really care, This card again, though, name value-wise, was so lacking, especially for a numbered event card. These were preliminary fight night fights, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know what they were booking here, especially when we get to the co-main event. Like, oh, it's 2 title fights. We knew what those were gonna look like, and you still didn't book any crazy bangers before. I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, it was a cool knockout, but just sometimes when there's nothing on the line in a fight, it's kind of hard to get into it. Either way, we move on. Charles Johnson defeats Eduardo Chapolin by submission in round 3. I picked Chaplin to win this fight because I can never trust Charles Johnson. I thought he was going to knock Johnson out, and oh my God, did he almost do it in the second round, bro. I remember watching, I was like, bro, this is it. So it was funny because I didn't get to watch this one live, but I remember, I was like, I'm just going to rewatch it, and I thought I'd seen something about Charles Johnson winning by submission. Then I'm watching it earlier today, and he's like, he rocks Johnson. I was like, oh my God, maybe he did win this fight. Maybe I'm crazy, and I'm remembering it wrong. So literally, as he's trying to finish this fight in the second round, I'm pulling up my phone. It's Charles Johnson submission round 3. I'm like, how'd you not finish this fight? Bro didn't finish the fight. We get to the third round. Charles Johnson hurts him to the body. He tries to shoot. I think Johnson sprawls on it, goes to his back, goes for the rear naked choke. Chaplin tries to turn. The way he tries to turn in, gets himself stuck in a twister, but it was a Scottish twister. How the hell, of all people, bro, Charles Johnson makes no sense to me. This dude makes zero sense. He just did a Scottish twister to win a fight. The fight before that, he got Suliev stretched before that. So he gets caught in one of the most embarrassing submissions ever, and then bounces back and hits one of the most slickest submissions you'll never see. Has knockout wins over the champ Joshua Vaughn, but gets knocked down and finished by everybody else. Has a win over Loney Kavanaugh, knocked him out. But again, we'll lose to the most random of flyweight, bro. Charles Johnson makes zero sense to me, but I low-key love it. I'm not going to lie. The energy gets it done. Great fight. This was a fun fight. I'm not going to lie. I really like this one. Flyweight's always fun. It was a catchweight 130. It is flyweights. And these were two former LFA champions going at it. Chapelin, this was his UFC debut, obviously short notice. So he'll definitely get to come back because he had some good moments. Like I said, almost finished Charles Johnson in the second round. Thought I was going to get that right. He blew it. It's whatever. Good win for Charles Johnson. Slick submission, bro. Scottish twister. Look it up if you haven't seen it. This one here. Joel Alvarez, bro. You're just not that good. I think we figured that out. He loses by decision. I thought he was going to be a lot better than this. I was like, dude, it's just a matter. How does he want to win? How does he want to finish? Knockout or submission? I picked him by submission. You look at the strikes. He got outstruck. He got his lead leg tore apart. Like, no matter however many times Chidi Njokuani kicked him in the leg, Joel Alvarez never checked it, nothing. He just ate them all. And he stands very upright, and he throws, like, he would throw his hooks, and his chin was in the air. I thought for sure he was going to get clipped and knocked out. Maybe he's just not that good, bro. At the end of the day, maybe Joel Alvarez is not as good as we thought he was. I really thought he was going to win this fight. I was pretty confident in it, but he does not. Njokuani gets the win by decision. That was another incorrect pick for me. So this puts me at what? We got to see here. 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4. I'm at a losing record going into the main card. But luckily, I kind of cleaned it up a little bit when we get into the main card. Starting here, Esteban Arivovic defeats Edson Barbosa by second round TKO, which I believe is exactly what I picked, honestly. He was beating him up, man. Edson Barbosa, he did retire after this fight, luckily. He did need to. It was time to let it go. I'm pretty sure I even said something in my predictions like, hey, bro, it's time. It's time, and he did. He retired. It was sad to see because Edson Barbosa was an absolute dog. Some of the best knockouts you ever see at featherweight. He was fun. Always fun to watch, but like I said, just too old. He's past his prime. He had a big gouge on his shin, too, in this fight. That was crazy. Good fight, though, for Arivovic. I thought this was pretty easy to predict. Arivovic is pretty good. Edson Barbosa, like I said, just old, past his prime. So this is a good win for Arivovic. It was sad to see Barbosa go out this way. I wish they would have given him the Michael Chiesa treatment because he deserved it more than Michael Chiesa did. But it is what it is, man. Esteban Arivovic gets it done round 2, knockout TKO. And that put me to 4-4. We bounced back with that one right there. But then I get another one wrong, dude. Another guy that might not be as good as we thought. Mansour Abdulmalik gets submitted by Dustin Stoltzfus, bro. They let Dustin Stoltzfus on the main card, and then he wins by submission. Abdulmalik, bro. He's supposed to be this prospect, supposed to be really good. He loses to Yusri Bergoli, but that's okay, because that dude's a dog. So I was like, all right, he's going to bounce back and beat up Dustin Stoltzfus. Dude gets slammed, wrestled, and choked out by Dustin Stoltzfus in the second round, bro. I don't even know what to say. Like I said, it was the night of the underdog. I don't think people thought he was going to win. No one thought Jeremiah Wells was going to win. There's a lot of guys on here that I think a lot of people weren't expecting to win. So Mansour Abdulmalik, brother, might just not be that good at the end of the day. He might not be that good. Or just how good is Dustin Stoltzfus? That might be the real question. No. It's Mansour Abdulmalik is not very good. I got this one wrong, of course. I put me at 4-5. Luckily, I did get the last 3 fights of the night right, so I get the end on 7-5 record. Not the best at all, but I will take it. You know, it's not a losing record. Not my best night of work. That took us to the Coco main. 39-second knockout. Jalen Turner, Kai Fernandez knocks him out really quick. Jalen Turner's an animal, bro. I've always been a fan of Jalen Turner, and I remember his first run in the UFC, like, he was kind of good, but, like, kind of wasn't at the same time. I used to always think, I'm like, how's this dude not killing everyone? He's a super tall, long, lanky, dangerous striker at 155 pounds. He should be killing people. And since he's come back, he's killed people. That's all he's been doing. I'd love to see him get a shot at the top 15 again. He was ranked once before in his first run. Then he retired prematurely, and, of course, he came back. I think he could definitely do some damage in the rankings at 115. You could give him the classic Benel Dariush treatment, but we got to stop beating up Uncle Ben, bro. We got to stop doing that. That's so messed up. But I could see them doing that, giving Jalen Turner But now Dariush lets him get a knockout even quicker than 39 seconds and gets himself into the rankings. But this knockout was nasty, bro. He rocked him bad, and then he's hitting the ground and pound, and bro's just head's just blink, 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 bouncing off of the canvas. It was rough, but Jalen Turner's a dog. Like I said, I've always been a fan of Jalen Turner. We watched him kill Bobby Green. I'm surprised Bobby Green is alive to this day, and that win is aging beautifully because Bobby Green's kind of on a roll right now, so that's pretty sick. That Renato Moicano loss at UFC 300 still haunts me to this day because I picked Jalen Turner to win that fight. And of course, he tried to do the walk-off moment at UFC 300. It's okay. We learn. Forgive and forget. Second chances, I'm a Jalen Turner fan, and it was cool to see him get the win here. Why is this fight right before the two title fights? Whew. Rough card from the UFC. But it only gets rougher because we go to the main event. Of course, staying at 5-5 right now. But we go to the co-main event. Mackenzie Dern defends her undisputed UFC strawweight championship versus Jillian Robertson. Dominated her, classic, vintage Mackenzie Dern. Jillian Robertson, I don't want to say sucks. I almost did, but she's not bad. But compared to Mackenzie Dern, bro, there was no place in the world of mixed martial arts that Jillian Robertson was better than Mackenzie Dern. She made Mackenzie Dern look like a lethal striker, and she is not a lethal striker. But Jillian Robertson made her look like one. Mackenzie Dern just had her way with her, dominated her for most of the fight. There was one round where Robinson won. I think it was the 4th or the 5th towards the end. I don't know. But every time it was funny, I'd be sitting there and I'm like, man, another round of this. And this Philly crowd hated it. To put a women's fight in the co-main event with two grapplers in Philadelphia, that is so messed up. The UFC, really, you know what you're doing. You knew how Philly was going to handle this fight. To put this whole card in Philly is absolute crazy because Philly fans are honest. If they think something's ass, they're going to let you know. So you put a card with no name value, and then the two title fights are both grappling heavy fights, man. You're asking for it. But hey, Mackenzie Dern does get it done. She was a 17-5. What's next for her? So what I see is, if Zhang Wei Li wants to come back to 115, that's 100% the fight to make. Make her come back. She's the best strawweight fighter in UFC history. Make her come back. She'll rough up Mackenzie Dern and get her belt back. But if not, she stays at 25 or does whatever it is she's doing. Give her Fatima Klein, bro. I mean, Fatima Klein's got the hype right now. Sure, she's beating Tabitha Ricci and like Angela Hill. But who cares? Mackenzie Dern went like 2-2 to get to the title shot anyway, just by being hot. That's why she's here. Because she weighs in with her butt cheeks out. That's all it takes. And that's kind of, Jillian Robinson tried to do the same thing. She just, you don't get the facilities for that big man. You know what I'm saying? You just can't quite hang in the Mackenzie Dern department with Mackenzie Dern, and that's okay. But no, I give her Fatima Klein. Fatima Klein is dangerous. She's good on the feet. She's a good striker, good grappler. She's got the personality. She's hot right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's liking what she's doing. She's hot on social media right now. She's got the hype. I would take her Fatima Klein if Zhang Wei Li doesn't come back. Zhang Wei Li can come back and get an immediate title shot. But if not, give her Fatima Klein. And how about this? If you do Zhang Wei Li versus Mackenzie Dern, do Jillian Robinson versus Fatima Klein. There you go. Fatima Klein should fight one of these women next. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think should happen. So there you have it. Mackenzie Dern dominating Jillian Robertson to a vintage Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie, the decision Dern, gets it done. And like I said, we'll see what's next for her. But that takes us to the main events. Islam Makhachev successfully defends his welterweight title versus Ian Machado Garry. Defeats him by unanimous decision. Easiest thing to pick on the card, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't as lopsided, like I said. In the breakdown, I said Ian Garry could make it a closer fight and give give Islam some trouble. He didn't give him as much trouble as I thought he would, but it wasn't as one-sided as it could have been. There was a cool point where Islam drops Ian Garry with a head kick. That was sweet. But it was Islam being Islam, going to his wrestling, dominating Ian Garry on the ground. He's so strong. Like, no matter what position he puts you in, this dude is going to stay on you. He's going to have a hold of you no matter what. So Islam Makhachev, dude, there's a reason he's the number one fighter in the world right now. Dominates Ian Garry, gets the win, moves to 29-1, breaks Anderson Silva's is it title defense? No, not title defenses, but or yeah, was it title defenses? It was, right? Is that what it was? Title defense record or like win streak record, or he broke Anderson Silva's record, whichever one it was. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But yeah, he did pretty good. Islam, the only things I saw, he looked like that was the most tired I feel like I've ever seen Islam look in a fight. Like, he was taking some deep breaths going into, like, round 3, round 4. So, maybe it's catching up to him. All the wrestling's catching up to him. Maybe the 170's catching up to him. Maybe being a little bit older, is catching up to him. And, like, if he sticks around, because there was always the rumor, he might retire after this fight. He breaks the record. He wanted to win the title. Well, he won the title. I want to be double champ. We became double champ. I want to break Silva's record. He did that. He's 29-1. I know that one just has to haunt him, bro. It just haunts him. Because no matter what he does, I think he's better than Khabib all time. And if you disagree with that, I don't know why. Khabib never bled. Whatever, dude. Whatever. He's better than Khabib all time. But Khabib always be like, you have one loss. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But they have the same amount of wins right now. If Islam could fight one more time, win, and make it an even 30, I think that would be cool. But if he sticks around and keeps fighting, bro, it only gets more dangerous because he's got Carlos Prates next. It's got to be Prates. And if it's not Prates, it's Michael Morales. Those are two dangerous guys right at the top there. So welterweight is absolutely loaded. If Islam does decide I'm done, relinquishes the belt, then it's super easy. You book Morales versus Prates for the new championship. So that's what I think you should do there. Ian Garry, you could honestly, I think Prates deserves a title shot more than Morales. So you could do Prates versus Makhachev. And you could do, I wouldn't even matter, like a Morales versus Garry or something like that, something fun. There's a lot of options at welterweight because welterweight is absolutely loaded. They just booked Bonfim versus Sean Brady, so that's coming up next. Actually, we'll talk about UFC 333 here in a second too because they just booked some stuff for that. We'll talk about that, but yeah, Islam gets it done. Makes me cap off my night at 7-5 on predictions. Not the best, my worst in the past month or so. But a lot of underdogs won, man. There's a lot of 50-50 fights, a lot of underdogs. So fun card though. Like I said, good knockouts every now and then. The Jalen Turner knockout was fun. Seeing Orbai get choked out was crazy. There were some solid moments, but kind of ended with two decisions that we kind of knew were coming. But yeah, that was UFC 330. Like I said, 7-5 on my picks. It's cool. It's whatever. After this, I believe is Fluffy Hernandez. Yep. Versus Robocop, so this will be the next one. We got Petrino and Spivak on there. RDR and Roman Dolidze. Shamil the Blob Gaziev is back. Wes Schultz. Chanel Dyer, actually, that's going to be fun. I hate that this fight got canceled. Cody Steele and Gage Young. I was very excited for that fight. Unfortunately, that's not happening. But they did announce... Well, let me go that far. UFC 333 was announced. It's right there. We'll see some of it. But anyway, they got Alexander Volkanovski versus Movsar Evelev in the main event for the featherweight title. About time that got made. Co-main event is the trilogy. Marab versus Peter Yan 3. That's a banger. We got, what else was on there? There was Aaron Pico versus Arnold Allen. Grant Dawson versus Aliev was on there. Rakhman Yakiev is on there. Rakhman Yakiev's on there. There's a lot of fun fights. Abu Smagomedov's fighting somebody on there. I think Cam Ralston. So there's some interesting fights on there. They should be pretty fun. So I'm excited to break that card down when we get there. But anyway, enough yapping. I hope you guys enjoyed UFC 330. I kind of did. I had more fun doing commentary at Ego Fight Series. Shout out to everybody at Ego Fight Series, all the fighters that won or lost. I appreciate the guys that watched my video. Everybody seemed pretty cool about it, the ones that I talked to. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Ego, for having me. It was a great time, as always. That's where I had my start. My first ever commentary gig was for Ego Fight Series at Hobart Arena. So it was a big full circle moment for me. I love that. Thank you to everybody that came up, talked to me, took pictures. I love taking pictures with people. That's always fun. I'm not famous by any means when I say that, but it's cool when people come up to me like, dude, I watch your videos, and they ask me who I think's gonna win fights. Like, I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. So I really appreciate that a lot. Yeah, enough yapping. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video. I would appreciate that as well. If you want to follow my socials, they'll be in the description as always. Showtime.tv04. Like it is here on YouTube, is the same thing on TikTok and Instagram. My personal Instagram will be linked down there as well. Just posted twice the past 2 days. Oh, I met Tito Ortiz. Bro, I got to bring that up, bro. Hold on, let me yap a little bit more. I met Tito Ortiz yesterday, bro. I did an interview with Tito. I took a picture with him, and then we chopped it up a little bit, and we talked shit about Dana White together. He's like, yeah, Dana hates me. I was like, yeah, dude, screw Dana. I don't like Dana either. He's like, yeah, dude, he only uses fighters that make him money, and then he throws them to the side. I was like, yeah, bro, he did it to me too. I was literally saying anything to relate to Tito Ortiz. I was freaking out. Pretty sick, though, but I got to meet Tito, so that was awesome. So, anyway, now we're done. Thank you guys for watching the video, and as always, the show goes on.